The Northwest region has been ranked third nationally, achieving 86% execution rate of its 2025 public investment budget. This performance was highlighted during the region's second semester 2025 review meeting of the participatory follow-up committee held over the weekend. The tragic death of a 26-year-old lady who was electrocuted while saving a child underscores the critical importance of proper electrical safety. We shall be talking with experts in this newscast. Household waste is no longer just trash, it fuels livelihoods. In this newscast, we shall be getting the experience of some trash collectors who transform discarded metals and plastic into income, showcasing recycling as a sustainable source of self-employment. In a bit. Thanks once more for joining us. We begin the news where as Cameroon prepares to join the rest of the international community in celebrating the 41st International Women's Day on March 8, 2026 under the theme Rights, Justice and Action for all women and girls. The conversation is being shaped not just by official statement but by the voices of everyday women. It is in this light that Melanimbo and Freddy Esomo caught up or spoke with some women across the country to hear what this year's theme means to those who live it as a reality every day. Let's take a listen.
With March 8 fast approaching, Cameroon stands at a defining moment as the world prepares to celebrate International Women's Day under the ambitious theme Right, Justice, Action for all women and girls. The question echoing across the nation is no longer if equality matters, but how we will finally achieve it. This year, the United Nations is not asking for patience, it is demanding for progress. Despite progress made, women continue to face discrimination in crucial areas such as work, security, property, and economic participation. This year's theme emphasizes justice and action, calling for the implementation of laws and policies that protect women's and girls' rights. It's about moving beyond statements of intent to concrete, measurable actions, ensuring women's rights are respected and protected.
I say that this year is right and justice. Let women should really be humble because when they say justice, it means a lot. I would like women to celebrate it with humbleness. I would like women to celebrate it in love. I would like women to show an example out there, to show people that what we are celebrating, even though it's right and justice, no matter what, we are first of all humble before justice now.
Let's now take you over to the Northwest region. As you heard in one of our lead stories, the Northwest region has recorded an 86% execution rate of its 2025 budget or public investment budget, placing the region third nationally despite the numerous challenges that have slowed the budget implementation or project implementation in the region. This was revealed during the second semester 2025 meeting on the Northwest Regional Participatory Follow-up Committee for the execution of the public investment project that was held in that part of the country over the weekend. Let's take you to Bamenda in the following report compiled to us by Bertrand Tita.
It was disclosed that 607 projects worth 16.6 billion CFA francs were allocated to the region for the 2025 financial year. Out of this number, 483 projects have been fully executed, 100 are ongoing, while 24 are yet to begin.
We had a technical follow-up committee meeting yesterday, and most of the contractors who were still slow in execution, or whose execution has not taken up with the steam that is needed from them. They were invited and they gave various reasons as to why they have not taken up. One of the issues that they raised, which is pertinent of course, is that the service providers do not have some money that they have put in their houses. They go of course to the financial institutions and they had some difficulties in having that.
He noted with satisfaction that 6 councils in the region achieved 100% fiscal execution, while works on major stretches of the ring road Kumbundu, Ndu-Nkambe, Nkambe-Messager are progressing steadily. Despite the numerous difficulties the region is going through, the great collaboration between stakeholders and the population produced these good results.
Some councils have done so well, and other councils have persistently led, of course, the performance in the execution of the public investment budget. Here we're referring, of course, to the councils of Nkambe, Ndu, Messager, Nwa, the city council, and others, because we have 7 councils that have 100%. That top from the bottom, we have Jakiri, we have Kumbu, and other councils. We have about 8 councils that are topping from the bottom.
The Northwest Regional Delegate of Minipart explained that 86% execution represents a 6.4% drop compared to the 92% recorded in 2024. He attributed the decline largely to a prolonged lockdown of not less than 36 days, which significantly slowed down contractors and service providers.
Execution of the public investment budget in the Northwest region as we speak stands at 86%. This is opposed to 92% of execution in 2024, recording a drop of 6.4%. From being, of course, that there was a prolonged lockdown, and of not less than 36 days, and 36 days of a service provider not being able, of course, to work is quite long.
The representative of the governor of the Northwest region emphasized that ranking 3rd nationally in the face of security and operational constraint is a strong achievement. The meeting brought together key stakeholders involved in implementation of the public investment budget, including regional and divisional delegates from Mintepe, Minipart, and the Ministry of Water and Energy, among others. As the region looks ahead to the 2026, stakeholders say the focus is clear: consolidate gains, address bottlenecks, and push execution to 100%.
We bring you back to the Central region as you heard in one of our lead stories, from being a hero by saving a child's life to being a zero by losing her own life. A 26-year-old lady will not only be remembered for her bravery but also serve as a channel for sensitization on the proper handling of electrical sources. In the following report, Promise Akante says caution remains the watchword. Let's take a listen.
Inhabitants of the Mimboman neighborhood in Yaoundé are still recovering from the unfortunate incident that claimed the life of a 26-year-old lawyer, Emmanuel Maria, on Sunday, February 22, 2026. Eyewitness accounts say she was performing household chores when she saw a child being electrocuted. Her maternal instincts pushed her to rescue the child, and with her wet hands, the contact with electricity was fatal. She, however, succeeded in saving the child at the cost of her life. This unfortunate incident brings to the limelight some important preventive measures. If the circuit breaker is not close by, use an insulator and dry hands tied in plastic to pull the victim away from the electrical source. Above all, avoid metal objects and contact with water. Officials of the electricity management body in the country warn people not to attempt to lift fallen or sagging power lines, not to approach fallen lines, and to avoid construction works near electrical lines. Contact with bare electrical conductors are life-threatening, and no matter the emergency, avoid touching a victim of an electrical shock. And even if the victim seems conscious, electrocution can cause serious internal damages. Thus, an immediate medical follow-up is indispensable. The death of 26-year-old Emmanuel Maria also raises awareness on the importance of regularly checking the state of appliances at home, avoid irregular connections, keep children away from electrical appliances, never manipulate electricity sources with wet hands, and always seek professional help.
Still onto one of our lead stories, long perceived as rubbish, waste is now positioning itself as a powerful driving force in the economy of the country. In the Mimboma neighborhood here in Yaoundé, the piles are overflowing. This is where Buka, a father of 10, has built his life. For 20 years, he has been taming metal and plastic, transforming and recycling them into a real lever of self-employment. We have Promise Akante once more in the following report.
Waste is wealth, and we need to do something to manage it. We should utilize it to create something better out of it. Some private structures and even individuals have understood this and are making wealth from the sales of recycled materials like iron, plastic, paper, etc. The private initiative in Douala and Yaoundé has pushed it a little further by encouraging people to sort thrash in categories and get paid, with a kilogram ranging between 75 francs and 200 francs CFA. In addition to being profitable, there are also social benefits like job creation and improved public health. Waste management and recycling is a massive and untapped space where the stakeholders are often disjointed and disconnected. The state of Cameroon has probably understood this with the official launching of the National Waste Exchange (BND) on Thursday, February 12, 2026 in Yaoundé. Overall, the BND is an essentially dematerialized market where several players in the ecosystem meet, namely waste producers, that's households, businesses, industries, hospitals, waste collectors and sorters, public, private, associative and informal players, transporters, processors and recyclers, institutions, technical and financial partners, media, and civil society. The BND promotes a circular, inclusive, and sustainable economy and aims to have a social impact focused on reducing waste that is dumped or burnt in the open air, preserving natural resources through recycling and reuse, improving sanitary conditions and the living environment of populations, creating green jobs, etc. So be it at the national level or at the level of this polygamous father of 10 in the Mimboma neighborhood here in Yaoundé, it all boils down to one thing. If one man's thrash is another man's treasure, then one industry's potential failure is another's opportunity.
And if you're just joining us, it is the 6 p.m. news over Camdis television. Let's now take you beyond our borders to get updates of what make news. First up will be in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where renewed clashes in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have dashed hopes for lasting peace as government and forces, the March 23 rebels, accuse each other of breaking a ceasefire brokered by Angolan president. While leaders exchange blame, civilians are once again caught in the violence. Let's get this story and more compiled in the following report. Fresh violence has once again shattered hopes for peace in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as fighting resumes between the National Army of AFC and March 23 rebels despite a ceasefire proposed by Joao Lorenzo of Angola. Both sides trade blame, with Kinshasa accusing the rebels of using talks to tighten control over occupied areas, while March 23 claims government offensives forced their actions, including their entry into Goma. Meanwhile, civilians continue to suffer, fleeing clashes in places like Lemera and seeking refuge in overcrowded camps as diplomatic efforts struggle to salvage an increasingly fragile truce. After more than 2 months of closure, the vital Kavimvira border crossing between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi has reopened, raising cautious hopes for stability in the troubled east. The post on Lake Tanganyika, a strategic trade route linking Bujumbura to Uvira, was shot in December as Rwanda-backed March 23 rebels advanced in an effort to disrupt Burundi's support to Congolese forces. After March 23 withdrew in January, reportedly at the request of the United States during mediation between Kinshasa and Kigali, and the Congolese army regained control. South Kivu Governor Jean-Jacques Purusi confirmed the reopening as displaced residents begin returning despite other crossings in rebel-held zones remaining closed. A fresh diplomatic push has begun in Washington this Monday over the sensitive Western Sahara issue as the United States brought together Morocco, Algeria, Mauritania, and the Polisario Front for a new round of talks aimed at resolving a nearly 5-decade-long conflict. Led by U.S. Africa envoy Massad Boulos under the initiative of Donald Trump, the discussions, the third in just 1 month, seek to advance Morocco's autonomy plan in line with the UN Security Council Resolution 2797, an approach firmly rejected by the Polisario and Algiers, which insist on a self-determination referendum. Beyond political status, disagreements also center on the recognition of Sahrawi identity as negotiations continue beyond closed doors amid heightened diplomatic tensions. And it is with that news out of the country, ladies and gentlemen, that we set the curtains to this edition of our 6 p.m. news over Camby's television. Do not go nowhere. Tabby Clarkson will be yours for your favorite program, Select 2. Stay tuned.